Let me just make sure that the microphone is on. Indeed it is. Okay. Well, I'm Nicholas.
And I'm Alex.
And this is Doctor Who on the Twin Review. Yay! Do you know what happened in the latest episode of Doctor Who?
No, what?
We went to space! Space!
You know how often we go to space in Doctor Who?
You know, okay, hold on. How many times did we go to space in this season of Doctor Who?
At least once before.
And after how many episodes? 5? And was it actually in space? Was it just like a space scene? When did we go to space? It was the haunted house, or was the... Okay, that one does count as space technically when they went to the other world, but it wasn't technically in space. It was on another planet in space. But then every episode...
The puddle.
They didn't go to space.
Yes, they did.
I hate you. I don't. In Oxygen, we had a full, like, out in space station full episode. Not even just a little blip into space, but we were in space. I love space. This episode is by far, I don't know what you're about to say about it, but this episode is the greatest, most well-written episode of Doctor Who I have seen, I think ever. I
wouldn't say ever. It was, out of this season, it was really good. By Jamie Matheson.
And I want to keep an eye on that name because maybe I want to see, what other episodes are written by that person, because the more episodes you see, I'm like, ooh, this has got to be a good one. This has got to be a good one. But from a literary standpoint, this was brilliance, sheer brilliance. And before I get on to that note, I will say that the only other episode I can think of as the greatest well-written episode would actually be the season finale that occurred before the 150th anniversary whole thing. Where they introduced the doctor that was forgotten, the doctor they didn't mention. That's the doctor we didn't talk about. That was a brilliant episode.
Yes.
And the whole way that was produced. But this Oxygen, not included, is a great episode because not only do they begin with an excellent, it's like they have the
foreshadowing.
There's that. I was gonna say thesis. That thesis statement about, but it includes foreshadowing.
Yeah, but
space and how it will kill you. Not to mention he said the final frontier, and it's final because everything about it wants to kill you. But it showed a little bit of the setting of where the story is going to take place, as well as interpreting it in a way that made sense to Doctor Who's original setting, where he's at the college place, the campus, giving a lecture on what was it, crop
rotation, I think.
Crop rotation, yeah. But it showed how much he was preoccupied about space, how much he's been looking about space, wanting to get to space, and is just so focused on space. And they're like, any questions? What does that have to do with crop rotation? I don't know, but isn't space magnificent?
Yeah, I feel like with that, Doctor Who's feeling, he's in a way homesick from space, because he's, being made to stay on Earth.
He's an adventurer, pure and true. Loves adventure, loves the magnificence of space, the mystery, the mystique, and all of the unknown.
Well, I also feel like with him being kind of stuck on Earth, it kind of ties back into years past when another doctor was trapped on Earth. I can't remember that doctor's name at the moment, but it was more involved with Torchwood and Unit back then, because they actually say a little bit about that during an older episode with the Zygons.
Okay, you lost me, but you know a lot more about Doctor Who than I do, so hopefully they're following you.
Hopefully.
And comment down below if you know what he's talking about, and tell me what I should know, because I don't. Was there anything you disliked? Because flat off the box, that's a phrase that makes sense, there was not a single thing that I disliked from this episode.
Me neither.
It's perfect!
I mean, it was a great episode overall, I think. I mean, I love Nardole.
Nardole. Yes.
Nardole. He got it for once. He finally got it.
5 episodes in, but I got it now. I think this is the 5th one now. Yeah?
Yeah, he's always had those funny moments throughout the entire episode.
Wait, who, me or?
Not you. Nardole.
I think I'm gonna come back to Nardole. I've got some notes on him.
One thing he says in the beginning of the episode is, I wish I had my original face.
I haven't seen my original face in years.
Yeah. What is his original face?
I don't think we'll ever know. I think it's just Nardole being Nardole. You know, a little bit about his personality.
But one question that I have is, what oath did he make and to who? Because they keep talking about it in just about every single episode. You made an oath. You can't leave. You made an oath.
And we've been discussing that for a long time, but we're not going to know until they present it to us. I don't think there was anything in this episode that revealed any bit of that. Like, it was just a great episode, but what was beautiful about it on the literary sense is not only did it have a great thesis and a great setting and bring it all together for the reason he wanted to go to space and show his preoccupation with doing that, but when they finally got to space, his whole lecture on how space will kill you came into play as a very, very important climactic piece of the story. Yeah, and I think there was a piece, there was a note I had written. Yes. There was another bit of foreshadowing that you would not have picked up on if you hadn't watched the episode twice. So, at the beginning, when they start to realize that all these people, 36 people have been killed, and they're taking a look at the log, and it says that it's the most unprofitable it's been in a while, in a while ever. And Nordal says, yeah, well, killing all your workers will do that. But it makes logical sense in that setting, but it's actually foreshadowing the truth, which they reveal later in the episode, that the reality is they're not unprofitable because of the killed workers. They killed the workers because they were unprofitable.
Yeah, which I didn't catch up on that. You got an itch there?
No, I got a poke. You scratch an itch, you poke a poke.
Alrighty then.
Anyway.
And one note I had is that the doctor lies.
Oh yeah! When he lied to Nordal and that whole setup, just the whole transition from them wanting to go and he's like, I thought I sent you for a bag of crisps. I saw right through your ruse, your clever ruse. So last night I took this from here. What's that? I forget what it's called, but it's the thing that the
it keeps the TARDIS from traveling.
And who told you that? You did. Exactly. Whoosh! Nardole, I think, truly is, like, you know, Bill's okay and she's a good companion, but Nardole is my absolute favorite character, 100%. Everything about him. I think he's my favorite companion I've ever seen, because he's nothing but lovable. And he's kind of got that overbearing mother appearance a little bit, but, you know, he's trying to keep things like, you have a responsibility, you need to take care of things, but then he's still got that, oh, I'm so cute and lovable and cuddable and, you know, just hug me and love me and adore me forever. And, you know, he's the comic relief. Yeah. When they had the whole racial comment, and Bill's just surprised by whatever the guy's name, the bluish character.
Dahin, or something like that.
Dahin, or whatever. And
like Darren was like Dahin. And
I was so sad when that character died.
Yeah.
But when Nordal was just like,
what's my friends, a bluish?
And then cut to commercial break. And the look by Dahin, if that was his name.
I think it's probably closer to me. Yeah. One quote that I like by Nardole is, relax or die.
And then at the end, when after everyone's been saved, and Nordal's just there, and Bill and the doctor are having kind of a special moment, like, yeah, I saved him, and Nordal comes like, I want to be part of this. Cuddle.
Yes.
And the doctor who, you know, he can hear Nordal's voice, but it's like, yeah. But what was really, the reason that I think this particular episode was so well written, aside from just the literary analysis of it, there was nothing super, like, aside from the setting, there was nothing necessarily science fiction about the episode, nothing unexplainable, no weird creatures from another planet, which, you know, Doctor Who does very well with that.
For the most part.
But in this case, it brought in, it was a little more introspective, with revealing some of the evil within humanity.
Okay.
Some of the darker methods of capitalism to an extreme extent.
Yes.
Of making you pay, essentially buy the oxygen instead of just letting it, you know, keep people alive, and to the point of viewing the humans themselves as nothing more than a commodity instead of actual people with lives and families and emotions and such.
Mm-hmm. And one thing that I thought was interesting is just that a lot of the schematics were measured by breaths they take.
Yeah, and so because that's just how long that's the number of breaths it takes to get there, which is odd. They needed to know how many breaths because that accounts for where you go, how you decide to go to where you go, and
And I
avoid
think
death.
It was cool for the fact that it was, to me at least, it made me think of a lot of those games where you have to remember to, breathe, or to watch your oxygen, how much you use. I thought that was cool. I like that aspect. And also with the creatures, I've noticed kind of a trend with Doctor Who, that they like to do a lot of kind of like undead creatures. Because you get the they were...
Bashnarada.
Thank you, Bashnarada. Wow.
And how it ended up being the moving suits. The Bashnarada took over the suit.
Yeah, and it was just a skeleton in the suit, moving. And there've been other styles of that, but like just how us as humans are so disturbed by seeing the dead walking.
Because the dead shouldn't walk.
Right. No,
And I've got to applaud Doctor Who and the writer Jamie. Well, I don't know who directed it actually, but for that beautifully ghastly image when Nordal says, "I think something's moving outside," and there's 36 bodies just walking in the flickering lights of space.
kind of it's that word again. I'm trying to think of not a nudge, but like a thing to The Walking Dead, for lack of a better word.
Reference?
Thank you.
Dave, if you're watching this right now, notice how we've kind of done a personality switch. He's the one who can't think of words. Not to mention I can finally say Dang it. Nardal.
We've switched back. It's okay.
Other beautiful thing about Nordal. Did I say it wrong again? Nardal. I got the name. I know how his name is spoken.
Did get it, at least.
Nardal. ND. Good old ND.
Whether to say baldy at that point.
Nardal. Yes. Little detail, unnoticeable. He's wearing his helmet, and he goes.
Yes.
And no one makes it. It's just one of those things that kind of in the background. No one says anything about it. No one looks at him weird. It just breathe on the inside, rub on the outside. That'll get it clean.
What about my suit? Smell and color. Alright, I guess I shouldn't vomit in my suit. Oh, I know what I was trying to say about the two shows. Pay homage to.
Homage. Okay.
But anyway, how at the end they're saying, or the doctor said, we're fighting the suits. Kind of that, is it entendre? Double entendre? Like double meaning? Is that what that is?
Play on words, maybe? One of those things?
We'll go with one of those. But how, they're actually fighting the suits and fighting the suits.
So
Yeah.
perhaps a highly political message with this one, but I think one that is very serious as well. Things to make you just go think. I need to think.
Or just go,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
But the attention to detail, the little things, like when we find out he's still blind at the end, which was, holy crap, a shocker. Get to that in a moment. The first time watching it, you don't know to the end that he's still blind. But on reviewing it again, after his eyes have been fixed and he's in the TARDIS, little things like, oh, we're back in the TARDIS. He picks up on that because of the sounds that start playing.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, he can see again. But did you notice that when he was going to the other people, his hands were still guiding along on the counter as he was walking over?
Yeah, I noticed that.
And his eyes never really focused on anyone in particular. They kind of moved around a lot. So, reasonably that he was still blind during that time, but made you believe that he was normal.
Yeah,
back to
so
normal.
even though his eyes were technically healed, his, like, I guess, seeing sensors were not.
His seeing sensors. Alright class, welcome to science class. Open page 26. We're going to learn about the seeing sensors today.
One side note that I think I realized that when the actor for Nardole, when he does the thing, that's actually from Alice in Wonderland. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because he was Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
What?
Yeah.
So he's actually doing that about... Do they do that exact phrase in Alice in Wonderland?
Yes, I don't think they do it in Doctor Who. So as far as I remember.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
He did that. We referenced it. You were the one who was making it. You kept doing the oh yeah because he went oh yeah in one of the episodes of Doctor Who. It was like the first one actually.
Yeah. I don't think, other than near the very end when they talked about you can't keep leaving because we almost didn't come back. You know, the person behind the door, they would know if you're damaged. Like, did Nardole say she or him?
I think it said our friend down there. It said our friend would know.
Yeah, our friend would know. Which I still think it's the master, or mistress technically. Missy.
And I have a theory actually with that. On Missy, I think that now that he is damaged, has been injured, because I've been trying to figure out what are they going to do with the rest of the season here. Is the Doctor actually going to be blind for the rest of the season, or are they going to find some way to heal him? But my theory now is that he's actually going to play it up that he is blind, and that perhaps he stays that way until the regeneration at the end of the season.
That's what I was thinking too.
And now Missy is going to come, and there's going to have to find some way of striking a deal with her, that she basically comes as a friend to help the Doctor be his eyes, essentially. Meanwhile, Missy's going to be looking for ways of escaping and other things, and you know. So I think Missy's going to become a main character. I think she's the one in the vault, based on your theory, and I think that she is going to be the one to guide the Doctor through these adventures. And it's going to be kind of a camaraderie.
See, that would be interesting. Because I don't think we've ever really seen the Doctor and the Master / Mistress ever actually like pair up for a long period of time.
And there's been quite a lot of needing each other in that way, wanting to pair up, and for one reason or another, the other one being, no way, you're insane, I'm not going to do that. But I still need you to be alive and be around, because I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be the only Time Lord left.
Yeah, I think the Doctor and the Master have the same kind of camaraderie and rivalry as like Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty.
That reference goes like this to me, but over my head.
You gotta at least know about Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty.
I don't know who Moriarty is.
Well, to you Doctor Who and Home fans out there, Holmes as an Holmes.
So you Whovians and you Homians.
We'll just go with Sherlock fans and Doctor Who fans. I think it would be awesome if they were to do somehow like a crossover between the two. Even though, because I think it'd be cool to see Doctor Who and Sherlock Holmes, doing something together. I don't think it'll ever happen.
It doesn't make sense for that kind of crossover. It just doesn't make sense.
Because, Sherlock Holmes and Doctor Who are both kind of like the same style, especially with Benedict Cumberbatch being Sherlock Holmes. You can't say that you wouldn't want to see.
Talk to them, because I have no idea what you're. I'm lost. I don't know any of this.
I think it'd be cool to see Benedict Cumberbatch and Peter Capaldi, partnering up to fight the Master and Moriarty. So, alright, you can come back.
A little bit about the Doctor that's very interesting. When they're in the scene and they find the first dead person, who I thought they were going to actually go with like undead zombie kind of creature, some sort of alien infection that makes them space zombies, but it wasn't that case. Nordo was like back to the TARDIS. But they have an exact reason to leave, and the Doctor says the beautiful quote about, when the universe throws something like this at you, your character is essentially defined by how you respond to it.
Yeah.
But I almost wonder if that was almost a bit of manipulation on his part, partially. Not that he's not a good-hearted person, good-hearted, multiple-hearted person. That didn't work as well as I planned. But what drove him more? Was it his desire to help the 4 people that sent out the distress call, or his mere curiosity for the unknown of this, bit of space?
Because I think we've said in the past episode that he's driven more by his curiosity than his willing to save people, but he still wants to save people.
Absolutely, but I think first and foremost comes the curiosity.
Yes, especially with Capaldi's Doctor. He's more like, ooh, that's something new. Let's go look at it. I'm gonna poke it with a stick.
Anyway, let us know down below about any theories that you have, or I mean, at this point, since we're a couple episodes behind, people are gonna be like, "Hey, you know what? This is the answer!" Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or let us know what your theories were at this point in time. Anyway, we'll see you all in another episode. We're gonna end this bit here and go and catch up a little bit with Doctor Who and see where our theories take us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. I don't think I have anything else to do. Doctor Who-like style. Okay, that was it.
And cut.